Okay, so let me introduce myself. My name is Joseph Daniel, and perfumery is my hobby. Alright, so I'm doing it. I'm bringing up my lab stuff all upstairs into the bedroom to get down and dirty and start making fragrances up here. So, let's see. I'm gonna grab a glass of wine. Don't trick me. Alright. So, I started this channel quite a few years ago, actually. And it was actually a few months before we lost one of the main people doing fragrances or reviewing fragrances, and I believe is Mr. Siage. That was depressing. But I ended up not starting doing my work, and that sucks. That was stupid of me. And I ended up dealing with a bit of discouragement, and so now I'm getting past that. Well, I've gotten past that. Now I'm actually doing it. And, now that we lost Sir Carlos, I'm not very happy about that. That actually has made me very unhappy. But anyways, I am going to start. So, on this channel, I actually want to not just show basic perfumery. I want to actually show people how to be able to get notes from natural sources and how to just get those sources and actually make them themselves. A lot of people, when they go and do perfumery, they go out, they buy the parts, and yes, I still have to do that too, but there's another aspect of where you can actually get the raw materials and make those components. I want to help people with that, and that's part of what I want to help people with. And another aspect is I just, it's my hobby. It's a love affair in certain areas. So let's show off one component. This is a tripod, obviously. There's a component that I make that nobody else makes. It doesn't look like much, but this is research, studying, accidental discovery, and mostly that, and I give God the credit. This is a type of compound that I pull out of frankincense. Nobody else has this. This stuff is very sweet, smells like wet stone, kind of cotton candy-ish, and this is equivalent of 3 to 4 years to make. So you need to have patience. But there's no other note like it. It's complex, but if there was ever a component that could actually be described as soft, that's it. I've never seen any other note that was like that. It's the only one. And I'm actually getting ready to process a whole lot of it. So, my research on that component is done. And I have got plenty of alcohol to start processing. I got more alcohol than I actually have of the frankincense, but In this box, there's 18 pounds of it. So, and I will be picking up more as well, because as long as it takes, I'm going to be trying to make a good amount of it on the shelf all the time, not part of the time. And then, of course, my lab stuff that's still a bit boxed up. Not everything's up here either. I've done a review on my other channel on Sunpure, but their benzoin is the only thing that I trust them for. Okay, they do have good benzoin, and I use it. I do love that note. It's a good note. And centrifuge, undrunk wine, and scale. More convenient to use than that scale, obviously. And then your run-of-the-mill semi-scale, mid-range. This is a high advanced scale. This thing's not cheap. I love Mettler's and Toledo, however you want to say it, but I love it. This thing is awesome. You got a automatic opening doors. And while it's right there, I'm going to hit this button over here. And I can measure in 1/100th of a milligram. Not many scales can do that. So this scale is awesome. Don't breathe, basically, is how that scales work. Well, obviously that's why the shield is on it. So anyways, these have to warm up too, so you let them warm up. So this is basically an introduction video. And I'm getting, I still got some of my stuff to bring up here. Let's see, what other stuff do I have to bring up here? I still gotta bring up the pump for that beauty right there. And then I've got the HB10, which is the companion to that, and of course I'm getting off. Well, I'm not getting off. I'm taking a break from keto, and here's my wine. So there it is, whatever. But I keep forgetting to drink it. Okay, so an HB10 is the component that goes to that, or is the oil bath. That is an oil bath, and right now I am processing cardamom. This cardamom has been being processed for a long time, and I don't know if you can, well, you can't see it usually without the black light, but there's an oilish slick of cardamom on top of it. But this is the best way I've been able to process cardamom and get that true note, but it takes a long time as well. And if you really get into perfumery and you want to really make some authentic smelling, really high quality components, you're going to learn patience. And if you don't know patience, you're not going to do so hot. You're going to need to learn that. And I need to just take a swig of my wine already. Jeez. That's good wine. Okay. Alright, so alright, HB10 needs to come up here. My giant graduation flask needs to come in here. I need to bring my pump up for that as well. And I just ordered a pump controller. You have to have a pump controller. Alright. So what goes to that this is probably the most expensive component on that. And you need this. And this runs under a vacuum. You have to have it under a vacuum and it helps. Okay. How do I explain this easier? Okay, so if you're like at a high altitude, there's less pressure. Such if you're on Himalayan mountains or something like that, you actually cannot cook your food with boiling water because your water can't get up to temp. It's the same thing. And the other aspect is of how these rotary evaporators work. Now, if you haven't figured out with all the stir plates and hot plates and stuff like that all being ICA, I'm obviously a fan of ICA. So anyways, how it works is it's better explanation with a flask. Okay, so this is connected on here. Sometimes you have a splash trap sort of like thing. It basically traps the fluids from boiling over and shooting up into the big old component that is in that box. It's called a condenser. How it also works is you have one of those that is on my stir plate right now that I'm using to heat the cardamom to 160, well, not 100, it's 60 Celsius. That's basically what I have it up on. Basically, your overheated car. This allows you, as it rotates, it helps spread your, well, usually it's to collect your solvents when you're actually doing something. You want to recollect your solvents, otherwise you lose your solvents and it gets very expensive very quick. So that's what these are for. So while it also is turning, it's layering it in thin layers while you have a warm bath, such as that over there. And then it is condensed in the condenser up here, and while under a vacuum, you don't have to have it at so high of a temperature. Basically, if you're worried about ruining components by overheating it, you use a rotary evaporator to keep you from basically destroying and overheating and ruining your compound. And there's definitely compounds you really need to actually process with one of these to not ruin it. It will ruin the flavor if you're into the cooking. It will destroy the smell if you are into perfumery. That's pretty much it. Anyways, so this is basically just an introduction video. I'm setting up my lab work, trying to get everything together. I still gotta bring things up. And I need to finish putting the rotary evaporator together. Scale's good. Yeah. Anyways. So there's a few things that I still need to get together, but overall, I'm probably going to end up setting up the distillation station there. That stuff's just temporary there, but I need to have a space for that. The condensers are not cheap. So I have a bunch of condensers in here and various types of yeah, this one's temperature, well, distillation. not got the ground joint. I have a friend that's trying to process stuff for hot sauce at his business. I'm gonna probably just lend him a distillation station. These right here are very awesome if you process or decide to make your own alcohols, and that sounds kind of trivial, but it does get expensive after a while. I mean, I've got like 8 gallons here. I've got 200%, 2 gallons over there. I'm going to make another order very soon for more 200%. I've got molecular sieves. That's right, I haven't found my molecular sieves, and I have not found... Oh, crap, I haven't found my secretary funnel either. Understand. Anyways, this box is full of nothing but condensers, if that tells you how much money I've spent on it. But other than the one flask, which is so I can take temperature at the same time while distilling. Anyways, and I guess I should probably just end this video because it's kind of probably getting a little boring. Anyway, I will make another video soon, but this is partially in tribute to Sir Carlos that we recently lost in the frag community. And getting this stuff started. You have a good day. God bless.